What's good, my people? What's good, what's good, what's good? I'm that boy they call Big Tone. One half of the Chronic OGs podcast. I'm that boy they call Big Tone. Shout out to my brother Rob. Let's get right to it. So, I'm going to get right to it. I ain't even going to get no BS. I had a list of things that I wanted to discuss. But I think it's kind of weird because they saying that the people who Vice President Harris is doing the worst with is black men. So you black men that's not planning on voting for Vice President Harris, let me ask you a question. Have y'all checked out Project 2025? Do you realize how much of your shit is going to be stripped away if the bronze idiot is in the White House? Don't sit this one out. This ain't a political thing right now. It's about facts. So we can go over a couple things. We can discuss immigration, the economy, all this other stuff. Some of Trump's rhetoric, the Haitian people eating cats and dogs and mice and shit, how that's been debunked, and even a person that called that in admitted that they weren't telling the truth. But the Republican Party ain't doing nothing about the fact that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump keep talking about it. And now it's people that believe that shit. Them 20,000 legal Haitian immigrants are over there to do the right thing. They productive members of the community. But yet still, you didn't pick out 20,000 Asians. You didn't pick out 20,000 Europeans. Picked out 20,000 Haitian immigrants in the small town of Springfield, Ohio. And there's still people that support him. So, if you're a black man and you got a black mom, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you're a black man and you got black sisters, grandmas, cousins, aunties, sisters, you should be ashamed of yourself. You really should. This woman just jumped in the race 6 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago. Everybody keep talking about, well, what she did, why she didn't do that in 4 years when she was in the White House, but she didn't do that in 4 years. Come on, man. You know when you're the vice president, you're supposed to support the president, unless the president is a fucking imbecile. Mike Pence ain't supporting Donald Trump. Think about it. Take a second. Ding. She's supposed to support the president. That's what her job is. So if there's some things that she would do differently, she's not supposed to be on the VP trail telling people how she would do shit differently while the president is still running for re-election. Now that she's in the know, she's going to give props back to the dude that put her in this position. Because if it wasn't for Uncle Joe, she wouldn't even be in this position. But y'all act like she don't supposed to give him no credence. Or she's supposed to throw him under the bus because there's a couple things that she may do differently. So, if you got a problem with this whole securing the border thing, And you saying Vice President Harris ain't the one for that? You on bullshit. Because securing the border, the most conservative bill, immigration bill in the past 5 decades, Uncle Joe was ready to sign. But Donald Trump got Mike Johnson not to even bring it up for vote. That's not putting America first. All that America first shit. If it was America first, this shit would be signed a long time ago. 1,600 more border agents, more judges, the whole nine, to process this shit quickly. Y'all don't want to go through, they don't want it to be processed quickly. They just don't want nobody over here. But peep game, unless you're an American Indian, you're an immigrant, the son of an immigrant, the son of an immigrant, the son of an immigrant. However way you want to put it, your ass is an immigrant. So that immigration shit, nip that in the bud. Border crossings are down. Border interactions are down. People are going back to their native countries in some instances. Okay, here's another one. Crime. So the FBI, led by Christopher Wray, who's a member of the Republican Party, all the numbers of crime is down. Rape is down. Murders is down. Robberies is down. Aggravated assaults are down. Everything is down. Everything they trying to say was so fucked up is down. Gas prices are dropping. She wants to put something in place to stop people from price gouging. Because that's what we're seeing in the grocery stores, Walmart ass. So she want to put something in place for people to stop price gouging. Right? So then she say, hey, look, let's debate again, homie. It's too late to debate. No, you scared. She offered him up and he's scared. Too late to debate. Do y'all realize he was asked, what's his policy for decreasing credit card debt? His answer wasn't do this with the taxes, do that, wages, none of that shit. Guess what it was? Vote for Trump and I'll fix it. What you gonna do about the rising cost in child care? Vote for Trump. I'll fix it. So you want to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You've been saying that since 2016. The lady asked you to debate, do you have a health care plan? Some shit from 8 years ago. You could have just used the one you had back then. But you didn't have one back then. Guess what you said? I got concepts of a plan. What the fuck does that mean? What, you got an outline? What the fuck is you writing a story? Got an outline before you start writing your paper or some shit? What the fuck is you talking about? You got a concept of a plan. So you was going to get rid of health care, throw everybody out on their ass on health care, without another one in place. Make that make sense, people. Please make that make sense. Everything is vote for Trump. I'll fix it. So, what's his policy on healthcare? Since y'all know so much, since you Trump supporters, especially if you're an African American man, what's his policy on healthcare? What are you going to do to help the middle class? What are you going to do to help small businesses? So, peep game, once again, and I'm tired of saying this, but apparently people just think this is a fucking lie when I say it. So I'm going to give it to you again. First of all, I read an article, and the young man in the article named, well, I don't know how young he is, but his name was Richard Hernandez. So this was back in the Monthly Labor Review, right? So he gave inflation is because of these things: volatility of energy prices, the backlogs for goods and services, supply chain issues, increases in prices in goods and services. Guess what that is because of? COVID-19. Who botched the fuck out of COVID-19? 1 million people. Who botched COVID-19? The guy that you're going to allow walk back in the White House because you're either going to vote for him or not vote for her. So let me give you a little history lesson. President Obama had a pandemic plan in place. It was to mitigate any future pandemics. Right? So, Dum Dum Donald decides he gonna scrap all that shit. He didn't put a new one in place. Who was he gonna use to put a new one in place anyway? Think about it. Ben Carson was in charge of housing and urban development. What does that tell you? So he didn't put this pandemic plan back in place. So when COVID-19 hit in 2020, we weren't prepared. We were prepared in December, but when the pandemic got rolling, we weren't prepared. Gas prices went up, housing prices, all of this stuff, all these inflation numbers went up. So let me tell you, if you think I'm lying, here we go. So inflation is predicted to be between 2.3% and 4.8% by the end of this year. Right now we're at 2.5 and some change. So soft landing, like Uncle Joe said, is true. It's about to happen. So inflation numbers in 2016, 2.1, 2017, 2.1, 2018, 1.9, 2019, 2.3, 2020, 1.4. So y'all remember what happened when Uncle Joe took over in 2021, right? We all had masks and shit on. Mask on, all types of mask on. The mask off. So it rose to, this is year over year, so it rose to 7% in 2021. You gonna blame that on Joe Biden? Or it's year over year, don't forget. So it reflects the last year's numbers, last year's results. That's all at the feet of Donald Trump. So your economy shit, anybody that says she ain't gonna be able to handle the economy, that's bullshit, man. Stop it. GDP growth, which I hear is one of the main metrics for how to judge inflation, is last quarter was So GDP growth is at 3.1%. Last year was at 2.1%. Last quarter was at 1.4%. So everything is up. So since y'all wanted to blame everything on Uncle Joe, you got to give her all. And now say it's the Harris administration. She ain't got no goddamn administration yet. She ain't had no administration. What are we talking about? So Trump said over the weekend, he told women, I'm going to be your protector. You're going to forget all about abortion. Well, say that to Amber Nicole Thurman and her family. Say that to Amber Nicole Thurman's 6-year-old son, who died here right up the street from me in the hospital because she had to go to North Carolina to have an abortion. And apparently, she still has some of the fetal tissues in her system. I think she was taking the pills and she still has some of the fetal tissues, inside of her. And the doctors over at Piedmont Henry let her die because they were scared of going to prison for 10 to 20 years because of the abortion ban. You gonna protect women, bro? You killed Amber Nicole Thurman. That's what you did. Saw pictures of a beautiful young lady. Just beautiful. Got her shit together. Was getting ready to go to nursing school. Just moved into a gated community. Her and her son got a pool right there so her and her son could play in the pool. And you took that away from the Thurmans. Little man. You took that away. So how the hell are you going to protect women when all... So, check peep game. Trump said it was Kamala Harris and Joe Biden who killed those 13 service members with the withdrawal of Afghanistan. That's what Trump said. So I'm saying you killed Amber Nicole Thurman, punk. You killed Amber Nicole Thurman. You know what dictators do, y'all? Dictators make it known that when I'm back in office, I'm going to prosecute my political enemies. You know what dictators do, y'all? Dictators say you should be jailed if you criticize the Supreme Court of the United States. That's what they call taking rights away. That's what dictators like to do. And if you don't do everything in your power to make sure Vice President Harris is the next president of the United States by a landslide, you're enabling whatever the fuck happens to us moving forward. This ain't the time to sit on your high and mighties. This ain't the time to question someone's blackness. This ain't the time to say, I really don't know what Kamala's about. I really don't know her. Well, read, motherfucker. Read. Do your research. This ain't the time. This ain't the time. This country is not perfect. This is my fucking country, though. This is my fucking country. My children, they ain't perfect, but they mine. And I'm going to defend them to the end, and I'm going to defend my country to the end. Now, what I'm saying is, when it's time to be critical, I'm going to be critical. When they doing some fucked up shit, I'm going to say, hey, that ain't right. But right here, right now, today, this 24th day of September, This ain't the time. This ain't the day. This ain't the place. Imagine 8 months from now, Trump is president. The rule of law is gone to shit. Mass deportations. All of his cases dropped. You think they feel more emboldened back in 2016? I can only imagine how emboldened they're going to feel in 2025 or in 2024, going into 2025. We think about it. Felons can't vote in Florida, but he can. Think about that shit. This man is a 34-time convicted felon, still walking around here talking about what he gonna do to people. Think about that. So we talk about people with power and money. Black people, there's black people that got money. That whole power shit, that shit is levels to that. Because a white man with a 34-time convicted felon who said to women's face, I'm going to get rid of Roe versus Wade. Then he did it. And there's women that will still vote for him. And you're telling me that ain't a cult? So if you don't do everything in your power to make sure this cult leader does not become the next president of the United States, if you don't do everything in your power, aren't you enabling whatever happens? What else you want? What else you want to know? Tell me, what else you want to know? So he tells the Jewish, he's speaking at a Jewish event. He tells them, I'm going to be the best president for rich people. I ain't rich, homie. What about me? So that's what we doing. You're only worried about rich people, yes? That's all they worried about. Keep the money coming in. Do we need to talk about the classified documents? Do we need to talk about the sexual assault cases? Do we need to talk about the paying off the porn star? And y'all sitting this one out, or even voting for him, is cool with all of that shit. Don't question someone's blackness. In national TV, just question someone's blackness. In a presidential debate, this dude said there are 20,000 human beings, legal residents, immigrants from the Haitian community, that they are eating people's dogs and cats. They're eating people's dogs and cats, eating people's pets. In a national debate, apparently it was only going to be one debate, and he said that shit. And y'all just going to oh well that shit? That alone should have been a reason for you to get up off your ass and say, nah, bro. Even if you said some shit like, I don't really fuck with Kamala Harris like that. But nah, I can't allow this dude. What y'all think? He more qualified than her? Peep game. I got something for you. Howard University, first of her class, top of her class. University of California Law School, top of her class. Prosecutor's office, rose to the ranks. Fuck that. I don't want to hear about that. She's sleeping and sucking. No, she ain't. No. Why her? Why her? Y'all ain't say that about Michelle Obama. Why her? I don't hear y'all saying that about none of them Congress women, the black women in Congress. Ain't nobody saying none of that shit about her. None of them. But Kamala Harris is the one that slept her way up to the top. It ain't had nothing to do with the fact that what her percentage of winning cases in the prosecutor's office was. They ain't had nothing to do with it, huh? Then she ran for office. Prosecutor. District, San Francisco District Attorney. Then state Attorney General. Elected position. Both of those are elected positions. U.S. Senate. Elected position. Vice President. Elected fucking position. Who is more qualified? It's this word they talk about all the time, and it's called diplomacy. When has Trump ever even thought of showing diplomacy? Check this out right here. I can tell you when he shows selfishness, because every time he says, if I were president, Putin would have let the hostages go a long time ago because of our relationship. Where if you care about the country as much as you say you do, you would have called Putin anyway. That's your boy. It should have been about bringing the hostages home, not waiting till you become president. And if you ain't going to become president, you ain't going to help bring the hostages home. Selfish shit right there. The war wouldn't have happened if I was president. Yes, it would have. Everything that has happened would have happened. It may have been fucking worse if you was president. At least we know, call him old, whatever. He got decent people in place. Joe is cool at the wheel. Maybe sleep at the wheel sometimes, but he's cool at the wheel. His people are cool at the wheel. This shit was a fucking madhouse when Trump was president. Not to mention the people, the GOP members that has come up and spoken against this dude. What do y'all need? Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, the generals, General Kelly, General Mattis, General Kelly. I'm forgetting the other general. I apologize, sir. I'm forgetting the other general. All of them worked for him and said, hell no, we can't let him back. When that shit pops off, when they saying, I'm not going to be a part of the Grand Old Pilgrim political party. I'm gonna do whatever I can. I'm gonna do what's best for this country. And what's best for this country is for you, black man, you black man, to get up off your ass, swallow your fucking pride, and make sure this young lady get in office so that come January of next year, this shit don't turn into chaos all over again for the next 4 years. Oh, did I mention January 6th? Fucking insurrectionists? Did I mention that? Did I mention he want to pardon all of them dudes, women and men, Did I mention that? Do you think he would pardon your ass, black man? Black man? Come on, man. Come on. Nah. Nah. Come on, man. I know you guys have seen since she been in the race how racist he is. Just, we ain't even gonna talk about the past 20 years. Just since Vice President Harris, since Joe Biden dropped out, how racist he is just since then. Just since then. So the past 6 to 8 weeks, this motherfucker has shown that there's no way, if I was sitting on the fence and then 8 weeks came, if I was sitting on the fence 8 weeks ago, I would be thinking right now, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Not when I got a grandson, not when I got kids that I hope still live prosperous lives and have some sort of a fair shot. They know what they got to do to get what they want to get. All of them do. But goddamn, do you want your son, grandson, great-grandson? Fuck that. Or your daughter, granddaughter, or great-granddaughter growing up with this motherfucker being president? President is supposed to be somebody you can look up to. You don't have to agree with him, but it's somebody you can look up to, somebody you can aspire to be. You can aspire to be Barack Obama. You can aspire to be Kamala Harris. You can aspire to be Bill Clinton, right? You can aspire to be Hakeem Jeffries. You can aspire to be Chuck Schumer, if that's what you want to do. Whatever you can aspire to be. It's all doom and gloom when he talks about our country. It's all doom. And then this is what he thinks of us as people. Not as everybody. This is what he thinks of us. He thinks that if he's not president, this country's going to go to shit. We're not good enough to survive unless he's president. Right now, because he's not president, the country ain't shit. He might as well call us a shithole country. That's what he thinks of us. And only he can fix it. But he's not said one way or how he can fix it except for the fucking tariffs and not understanding that, guess what? Guess who's going to have to endure that cost? Us. Dummy. Is that what we want? Go read Project 2025. Just skim through the motherfucker. Like 900 pages. Just skim through it. You cool with your daughter, granddaughter, great-granddaughter not having no reproductive rights? You cool with that? You cool with having the courts filled with MAGA judges? You cool with that? And I ain't talking about just the Supreme Court. All federal courts. You cool with that? Go look up at how many black women judges Biden put in compared to Trump. Maybe your daughter inspired to be a judge one day. She got a better shot at doing it with Kamala Harris, getting the next 4 years versus Donald Trump. Do you really think your daughter can inspire to be, can look at it and say, I want to be president? Well, people like Donald Trump running the country for the next whatever years. That's a great one. We always tell our kids, hey, you can be what you want to be, put your head down, get to work, let's see what happened at the end. Well, at the end, Lord Jessica want to be president of the United States. Do you know how long it's going to take for us to bounce back from Project 2025 if he's the president for the next 4 years? Even if 2028, there's a Democrat back in the office. It's going to be crazy the work that this person is going to have to put in to just get back to today as a result of Project 2025. And let's talk about why we are today. Drink some Lysol, spray some Lysol, drink some Fabioso. That'll get rid of COVID. Don't worry about it. The sunlight, that'll get rid of COVID. Don't worry about it. It's just going to go away. It's just going to magically go away in April. That didn't get rid of COVID. 1 million lives later. And that's the guy you're going to allow to be the head of the leader of the free world. Because of what? Vice President Harris ain't black enough for you? Or she married a white dude? Or whatever it was is fucking stupid. If you thinking like that, you're not thinking about what's everything we push for. That's not what you're doing right now. That's not everything we push for as a people. You're not supporting that shit. One thing we support as a people is what? Freedom. The freedom to marry who the fuck you want to marry. And you shouldn't be judged on it. Yeah, we may joke around and be like, oh, she married a white dude. Oh, he married a white man. Man, happiness is not easy to maintain. So, if you need to marry outside of your race, hey, as long as you ain't demeaning my sisters, I ain't no problem with you, bro. As long as you ain't demeaning my brothers, I ain't got no problem with you, sis. In Trump's world, and Project 2025, they don't want that shit. They don't want you to have the freedom to marry who the fuck you want to marry. Trust me, they're going to look down on you if you do that. That's not what they want. Because now, when you start having multiracial relationships and then biracial kids, I'm sorry, not multiracial, biracial kids and biracial relationships, then those people can't say, it's harder for them people to pick one side or the fucking other. But it should be only one side to pick. That's the side of right. Do the right thing, y'all. Come on. Come on, black men. Come on, brothers. Come on, my dudes. Come on, my dudes. Come on, my dudes. I need y'all. I need you to. Please. Put that shit aside. Whatever your reasoning for her not doing well with black men, whatever that shit is, let's turn that up. Because it's going to be much, 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 much worse if we don't and the alternative happen. Hey, please hit that like or subscribe button. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Chronic OGs. I'm that boy they call Big Tone. I'm out.